Here's a really important tip if you are a builder or a manufacturer or anyone that has cost of goods sold or cost of sales. So if you've got cost of sales, these are the direct costs that relate to whatever it is that you're selling. So for instance, if you're a builder, your cost of sales are the costs of the materials and the labor and the subbies, etc. Now, when you're pricing a job, if you're using markup instead of margin, then you're going to come out with a completely different answer. And there's quite a misconception out there in the industry that these are both the same thing. So margin and markup are not the same thing. Margin, or we'll start with markup. So markup is based upon your costs, and then you put a markup on top of that to get to your sale price. And that seems to be the conventional way that a lot of builders, for instance, are using to price or to quote their jobs. However, margin is taking the difference between the sale price less your cost of goods sold, so that the sale price less the cost of what it is to build it gives you your margin. Now, as a percentage, you take that margin and divide it by your sales price to get your margin or gross margin percentage. Now, you may think that sounds like the same thing, but it actually isn't. And I'm going to explain with an example of how you'll come out with different figures. Let's use an example of a sale price of $100 and it cost you $70. So the gross profit is $30, which is your margin. So that's $100 less 70 is $30. Now that's your margin. So that also equals your margin percentage, which is 30%, okay? So that is $30 divided by $100 of your sales price. That's all great. So now you've got a margin of 30%. However, if you used markup is the gross profit or your margin divided by your cost of sales. So that is 30 divided by 70. If you take that as a percentage, that's 42.8%. So if you're using the wrong figures, you're going to get different answers. So it's really important to know the difference between the two and be able to accurately calculate what figure you should be using and whether you should be going with markup or margin. If you've got any queries with this, as always, don't hesitate to give us a call.